I'm not normally a guide guy on this channel, but I can't help but notice that the people playing Nine Kings seem to be kind of struggling with what I feel is a relatively easy achievement. And so you think you can speedrun, which requires you to finish a single run in less than 9 minutes. It is not hard at all to do, and I'm going to go through it with you really quick. But ultimately, like with most challenges in this game, it comes down to one thing: picking the right king and having the right strategy. You want to open with the King of Stone, and the secret here is Ballista. In one sentence, get as many Ballista on the board as possible, and that's how you're going to take care of this. Perks are not strictly necessary. I think you could probably finish this on your very first King of Stone run once you'd unlocked him. But if you want to know what I'm using here, I do have 2 ranks in Warden, so my core building is powered up. I think that helps a lot. I would do that. My other one gave me a free tower, which ended up being pretty useless here. Really, all the other ones are pretty pointless. You get the ones into Warden to power up the main building. That's kind of all you need. To recap, this is a simple strategy. It is based around the fact that Ballista, really about the only regular unit that the King of Stone has, is an incredibly powerful offensive unit that clears the board very, very quickly. So you want to get Ballista on the board as quickly as possible. Every time you get one in a draw, you take it, you power them all up to level 3, and then you put another one down, power it up to level 3, and just keep going. Just get as many of them out as you possibly can. If you're not getting those, take unit upgrades. Put them onto your Ballista to make them more powerful. If you don't have that as an option, you can take other units too. Ranged units should be top priority because your objective is to kill the enemy as quickly as possible, to finish these fights as quickly as possible, and that's done much more quickly with ranged units than with melee. You can take 1 or 2 melee units to serve as kind of a front line, but it's not strictly necessary. You will defeat most enemies quickly enough that you won't even have that as an issue. Do not waste your time with the things you would do in a more substantial run. You don't have to worry about adjacency. Prophecies are nice, but you don't really need to worry about them too much. I did use mine here. In a lot of games, I would not. It's just whether or not you can work it in. When you're taking cards in between, don't really bother with rerolls. I do a few rerolls here if I'm getting something bad, but as you'll see, they actually did not help me. That was kind of just a waste of time, so I would skip that. When you're placing new tiles, don't worry about adjacency. Again, just drop them wherever they are. You're going to see I'm pretty haphazard. Policies. You may notice I've already taken policies that are completely useless to me. That's because most policies are useless for a run like this. Sharp blades is very useful. If you see that sword icon come up, you take that. Other than that, just grab whatever's there. It doesn't matter. It's kind of just a waste of your time. I never bothered buying units. Anything from the shops, because then that's an extra card I have to lay down, and that's more time you have to spend, so you don't want to bother with that either. Really, the key is just to keep things moving along. This is surprisingly easy to do once you've really got into the flow of things. As long as you have units hitting the table quickly, you can generally finish a run without too much difficulty. The King of Stone is mostly associated with towers, but you really don't need to use a lot of towers. I actually did in this run, but that's solely because that is what the game was giving me, and I was just placing things down as quickly as I can. That is kind of what you have to do. For the most part, though, in a typical run, you are going to focus on unit spam, Ballista first and foremost, of course, then ranged units, and finally melee units. If you just can't get anything else, you want to have them hit the table as quickly as you can and just keep on going. If you do get a lot of towers, then play towers, that's fine, but you really don't have time to work out any sort of detailed strategy behind getting as many troops out as quickly as you possibly can. Other useful cards. There are a couple of other kings where if you can get them into your rotation, they can really help out. King of Spells is very good for this because you have in Static and Combust 2 very good offensive unit enhancements that really help out here. Also, the Wizard is a really good ranged cleanup unit, can take out the things that the Ballista don't quite get. King of Nature is another really good one. Procreate, very, very powerful with the Ballista. Just help you get more of them on the table, just have more of those bolts flying all around. Clone also lets you get more Ballista out, and Boars can be pretty powerful too. But honestly, the other units you get, the other cards you get, are pretty irrelevant. This ended up being a very suboptimal run, and I still finished it with 45 seconds to spare. It's not hard. You just need to get things out fast enough. If you do that, you will be fine. So to recap very quickly, in one word, Ballista. In a few more words, get as many Ballista out, upgrade them, level them up all the way, and then just have them do all the work for you. Now go ahead and watch as my army of Ballista finish up this run in about 8 minutes and 16 seconds.